Today is January the 12th, 2020. Walking here in the neighborhood, and today I should have came out a little earlier because New York weather has reached to almost 70 degrees, and so it is a very, very beautiful day that filled with spring breeze while other places are having storm and the frozen days. New York City is embraced by warm, gentle breeze and beautiful sunlight. However, mom was busy conversing with another mom, and we are putting our mind together and try to rectify this community. Yeah. You see, most of the people here in this community are too busy with their life and cannot think about things beyond their own personal life. And those who do get involved with community matter, their agenda is how to get the power and make some money and get some benefit for themselves. And very few people truly are thinking as a true leader and thinking for the benefit of the people in this community. So those are things that mom's starting to believe. Mom is very, very suitable candidate for the community leader, officially the district leader. So this mom has been working on the election of the district leader, and a Chinese candidate, a businessman, is currently a candidate, and she's working hard for gathering support for this businessman. And mom went over there to meet with the campaign manager, and we had a chat regarding the charter school and regarding the Seattle legal case, and that was all the recordings came from in the campaign manager's office in Flushing, and talking about Chinese charter school and talking about Seattle legal case, how to rectify that. That's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, today had another deep conversation with the coordinator of the campaign manager office, and Miss Maple happened to be our mom's club leader for the Chinese charter school here in Flushing. Yeah. So mom has been thinking about how to bring together the wisdom of the elders of Flushing, because more and more starting to feel that only when people are starting to communicate and starting to have a forum and start to bring out each person's inner insights and starting to correct each other's certain blind spots. And I think that is what the whole Elephant Institute is all about, at least at the level of the community work, is to allow people to expand their vision and their understandings of the truth, and to help them to see a larger truth and to find a wise solution for the crisis that each one is confronting alone. So yeah, in that sense, the whole elephant certainly shall bring the community together, since the whole elephant has been hosted by the Flushing community throughout all these years. The community work in Flushing, and in terms of rectify the issues ongoing in this community, and also about help the leaders to develop a correct vision about the solution, shall be also subject of the whole Elephant Institute's research and education. Yeah, so that's what has been the central theme of the past week. Mom has been quite busy with that, and as if the Whole Elephant Institute are ready to embrace a wonderful new team of elders. Looking back, the Whole Elephant Institute in Flushing has been always nicely supported by the elders. Mom should get all those stories together for you and our other team members about the 15 years history of the Whole Elephant in Flushing community and the great elders and their wisdom and their expectation, trust, love, respect towards Mom has allowed Mom to build the Whole Elephant Institute from a place that as if was impossible. The other day when Mom was conversing with Waipo in China about the kind of situation that our whole family, because of following the Chinese Communist government's hate propaganda message about Falun Gong, they all stand as one combined position of blaming Mom for all the trouble that manifesting at family and at work. And they believe that when the husband wants to take everything away from her, depriving all her rights, that is correct. When the job place terminate her job, that is correct. When the brother wants to frame her for mental illness, that is correct. And when Mom asked Waipo, so let's pretend in 2005 Dr. Tong Wang didn't go to New York and stayed in Seattle when she could no longer continue to work at the Benora Research Institute, when she is facing the pressure of the legal requirement for her paying child support and spouse support and paying the house mortgage, and if she still refuses to go and follow the whole family's consensus agreement for her to continue to work and make money and pay the bills for the husband who has already decided to divorce her, and for maintaining that family house that is too big for her alone to live, and what would be the outcome? And Waigong Waipo at that time, the next step, the whole family's agreement and plan is that the reason Dr. Tong Wang got into such a terrible crisis is because she have chosen to practice Falun Gong, and she could not give up her interest in continue to research into the health benefit of Falun Gong, and she has stubbornly holding on to something that the whole family is against and the research center is against, and fellow practitioners also don't think she is doing the right thing on that. She should just give it up and go back to the research center and do her normal wonderful research as a star scientist from Harvard and continue to build a name for herself to show how successful a Falun Gong practitioner can be in the science field as a leader, and in that way can save people better. So her choice basically could not be supported by anybody. Nobody supported her, and her choice about building a Whole Elephant Institute, and everybody thought that's just totally nonsense and impossible, and she was just having some grandiose thinking, and that is definitely a sign of being manic. And considering that she even had a suicidal attempt, then she must be depressive, and therefore she is suffering from manic and depression. That's right. She shall be treated by the medications for manic depression, although it's a lifelong disease that cannot be treated, but it can be controlled. And she shall be taking medication for manic depression. It's called, yes, we now all learn, it's called bipolar. Yes, it's bipolar. Dr. Tong Wang has bipolar disease. And all the bipolar patients refuse to take medication, and we need to force her to take medication. Yes, that's correct. So how to force her to take medication? We need to get her first. And she's wandering all around in New York City and most likely making trouble. We need to catch her and get her into a medical doctor and get treated. And so what are we gonna do? She is all running around in New York and we could not pin her down. Well, we're gonna have to just go through the court and making sure that we get her. So what's the best way to get her? Well, there is something called a guardianship, you know. So if we can get a guardianship over her, then we're gonna be able to get her. All right, how to get a guardianship? Well, you just have to make sure you submit a medical diagnosis, the lawyer said. You just have to make sure you submit a medical diagnosis to let the court know that she is manic and depressive patient, so that we can award you a guardianship. Okay, let's do that. So Jianxin said, well, I can do that. I will have a wedding with Sherry, and then she will definitely come to attend the wedding banquet. So at the wedding banquet, I will get my friend Amelia Gaetano Mandel to sit next to her and give her a diagnosis. How about that? Okay, that's great. All right, Dr. Jianxin Bao called Dr. Tong Wang. Hi, my dear sister. Just want to let you know your big brother finally is getting married. I would like to invite you to come to my wedding banquet. Dr. Tong Wang was in the office at the heart of Flushing and working on the Whole Elephant Institute project, trying to get it registered in New York State. And sitting in that office, receiving that phone call, Dr. Tong Wang was quite cautious because Dr. Jianxin Bao already attempted to force her to sign a power of attorney to hand her rights to him before, and he even came all the way to New York to make sure she signed the document earlier. And Dr. Tong Wang firmly rejected that proposal and told him, no, I will take care of my own finance. Thank you very much. So now suddenly he wants to get married. What is the purpose? That sounds not like Dr. Jianxin Bao, because he always used to tell Dr. Tong Wang everything about his personal life. Girlfriends, of course. He always also told Dr. Tong Wang. Well, Dr. Tong Wang knew he had a girlfriend in Columbia University, but never heard a fiancé in St. Louis, and suddenly he's gonna have a wedding? That's a little bit of odd. There must be some kind of trapping mechanism there. Dr. Tong Wang said, well, I'm sorry, I cannot make it to your wedding. That also actually is reality, because Dr. Tong Wang at the time already was deprived of financial resource. She didn't know why her bank account was already emptied out. There was a lot of bizarre things going on in Seattle. She sensed some trouble, and there was phone call coming about guardianship and stuff. Although she didn't know what this is all about, guardianship, she also bluntly refused about that option. So Dr. Tong Wang felt that some kind of scheme is brewing in the dark, and she needs to be cautious. The friend, Chinese scientist sitting across the table, the brother of the accountant who was doing the Whole Elephant Institute paperwork for registration, suddenly blurted out, how could you reject your brother's invitation to your wedding? That's totally a no-no for Chinese people. You cannot do that. You only have one brother. Dr. Tong Wang said, all right then, I will come. You know, that was the situation back in 2005 in the springtime. And Dr. Tong Wang had no money, but she tried hard to go there to attend the wedding. So she bought herself a long distance bus, and she had to travel from New York to St. Louis on the bus, and sleeping on the bus for over 10 hours. Was very, very tiring trip. Went to attend the wedding. The wedding banquet was in such a brief format, as if a showcase, and Dr. Tong Wang used all her good heart to bless the wedding, and personally prepared the double happiness sign for each wedding banquet table. Even made a wonderful big time warm-hearted speech to wish the brother and the future sister-in-law a very wonderful happy family, double happiness and joy. But in the middle of all that, in the wedding banquet, she was seated by Dr. Amelia Gaetano Mandel, this young beautiful researcher that Dr. Jian Xinbao introduced her to meet and say, you two have a good chat, because Dr. Amelia Gaetano Mandel was very interested in your Whole Elephant Institute project. Would you two converse? Yes. Dr. Tong Wang was very happy to meet Dr. Amelia Gaetano Mandel, and she has two beautiful children sitting on her lap. Dr. Tong Wang's mom sitting on the right side of her. She was sitting right in the middle, not knowing that something is unfolding in a very illegal way, but she basically was there to converse in the wedding banquet happily with this new friend of Dr. Jian Xinbao introduced, a scientist researching into Drosophila, the fruit fly. And so Dr. Amelia Gaetano Mandel, as a research friend, was just chatting along with Dr. Tong Wang for the time of a short period of wedding banquet that everything finished very quick. That's most like a conversation that lasted for about 20 minutes. And about a medical diagnosis by Dr. Amelia Gaetano Mandel was submitted to the Seattle court, and that was, for the court, sufficient. I don't know how that could be sufficient, but the court basically used that to award the guardianship to Dr. Jian Xinbao, and Dr. Jian Xinbao was placed in that horrible position to be the legal guardian of Dr. Tong Wang. And following that is basically a process of totally deprive Dr. Tong Wang all rights, all properties, and defamed her to be mentally ill, to be incapacitated, to confiscate all her personal belongings, and force her to return to Seattle. Basically, they were ready to ship her first into Dr. Jian Xinbao's place, because they already put her residence into St. Louis. And the plan is to force her to be subjected to medical treatment. And if her condition is, cannot be handled, she would be most likely shipped back to China to be subjected to medical treatment in China. And so Dr. Tong Wang's situation in 2005, if didn't come to New York, would be forcefully taken and controlled by the family members and subjected to manic depression treatment. And what would be the result of that? Well, most likely at that kind of situation, you can draw reference from China. Those Falun Gong practitioners forced into mental hospital and forced to be treated, and what would be the consequence of that, right? Actually, in China, a lot of people were tortured to death. A lot of people were driven to total insanity. So 2005, I think, in every regard, that was a year that defines the turning point of Dr. Tong Wang. whether she would be following the arrangement of the family members' love and caring under the good name of science to subject her to psychological treatment and force her to continue to work in the science field and to continue to pay the child support, spouse support, to face the consequence of her choice, to see the child being taken away and she could not spend any time with her child, to be ridiculed for her wrong decision. So that was the reason the husband divorced her, and to justify the glory of modern science, to use psychological therapy or chemicals to treat her brain and to alter her mind and to make her continue to follow the framework of modern notions. And so the other path, well, in that process, Dr. Tong Wen-Wang basically would be destroyed, right? Dead or crazy, right? Okay. And the other path was what Mom actually walked. And Dr. Tong Wen-Wang was transformed into a different person, came to New York and built the Whole Elephant Institute. And not only didn't die, didn't go crazy, but continued to help people every day, helping people, every day delivering truth, every day saving life, and every day helping to harmonize the family. And so, yes, 15 years today, Mom just want to make this statement. And Mom will continue to converse with Waigong and Waipo and Jojo, your beloved family members. But Mom is not Dr. Tong Wen-Wang. Mom is Dr. Lotus King Wise. And it's a new life that survived such atrocity, such brutality, cruelty, and still holding compassion in the heart, and spent 15 years treating all these family members who basically gang up to destroy her in every regard, who by today still refuse to accept their mistakes and continue to pretend that they are loving, caring family members. And the moment when you talk about Dr. Tong Wen-Wang, they still say she has some problem, she is sick, and today she is still floating around and doing things that we hope she can get treated. So every chance they get, when they talk to Mom, Dr. Lotus King Wise, every opportunity they have, every chance Mom open up for them to rectify the past history and try to let them do some good deeds for the Whole Elephant Institute to wash away their sins, they arrogantly say, "Huh, Whole Elephant Institute, huh, you only have one person. Huh, how are you going to be able to build an institute? It's a one-person institute. Huh, you know, you don't listen to us and you don't even have food to eat. Well, thanks to us, you still have a roof over your top because your brother is now giving you some money. And me as your mom, we also can give you, even from China, some hundreds of dollars to buy some food." This is the mentality when Mom provides opportunity for them to clarify the truth to them day in and day out, spending hours and hours of time to tell them the truth and to try to reach out into their heart and try to tell them, you know, what's really is going on, and the evilness of the CCP, and you know, what they have done wrong for 15 years. And today, when Mom received the donation money, Mom told them, if you really love your daughter, you could support the Whole Elephant Institute and you could donate to support the Whole Elephant Institute. Okay, the brother donated some money, and very small money, and as a matter of fact, Mom accepted that exactly for an opportunity for him to still can survive into the future and to have a chance to be saved. Mom accepted the money from Waipo in order to prolong her life, making sure she will gradually be awakened. And when Mom did that, Mom is putting the whole Elephant Institute into major risk of being misunderstood by the community, by the fellow practitioners, by all potential good supporters. But Mom decided still have to do that because after all, we are talking about precious people who are destined to be destroyed if they cannot be rectified, especially those committed great sin, brought great damage to what Mom supposed to do. So that is really something that I must make it clear to you, and making sure also your sister understand that Mom really hope that this kind of situation shall be stopped. Okay, so Mom is gonna try to give them the last chance, but meanwhile it's really not Mom's chance to them, it's the universe's choice. So no matter how much Mom wish that they actually can change, it's their choice as well. And how long the opportunity and the favor they will be given by the universe and to continue to receive Mom's information and to even to accept their donation, that's also up to the universe. But in Mom's heart, Mom's starting to feel that this is a final moment. It cannot be continued like this anymore. Mom needs to step forward, and that was the reason Mom said maybe this is really now a final moment. No more accepting so-called donation if they are not genuine, if they have ulterior motive, if they want to destroy the reputation of the whole Elephant Institute and continue to defame Mom while they are sending donation and making a lot of Chinese relatives consider that Mom is truly incapacitated, cannot make money, and still relying upon her brother and her parents' donation to survive. If they continue to use that little piece of donation, little money, and try to defame the name of the whole Elephant Institute, Mom will sternly, firmly sever all family relationships with these people who claim to be parents, to be brothers, and Mom will firmly use legal method to prosecute them as evil persecutors. And this is Mom's statement today, and I just want to make sure you know what's really in Mom's heart. And for that reason, Mom wants you to be very alert to these so-called family members and all your connections in China through that China trip with Dad, and don't fall into the trap, and making sure we work together. Okay. And so all the information between us has to be kept secret between us, and we shall move forward with legal actions. Okay, pause.